Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are getting into something that so many of us are feeling, that deep, down in your bones exhaustion. It's more than just being tired. We're going to look at the actual science behind why you feel this way, and most importantly, what you can do to start feeling better. All right, so let's just jump right in with a question that I'm willing to bet is going to feel pretty familiar. You do everything right, you get your 8 hours, but when that alarm goes off, you feel like you could just roll over and sleep for another 8. What on earth is going on there?
Well, that feeling of constantly running on fumes, it actually has a name. It's not just being tired. It's called burnout syndrome. And really, just understanding what it is, that's the very first step toward getting your energy back.
And here is the absolute key thing to get. This is not some failure of your willpower. Burnout is a physiological state. Your body is perfectly designed for short, intense bursts of stress, right? But when that stress becomes chronic, when it just never ever stops, the whole system itself starts to break down.
So as you look at this list, does any of it ring a bell? You've got that constant fatigue, and one of our sources uses the Turkish word bitkinlik, which is this really profound sense of weariness that goes way beyond just being tired. Then you've got the brain fog, the bad memory, and that classic sign of waking up feeling like you haven't slept at all. These are all basically red flags your body is waving.
Okay, so to really understand this, we've got to look under the hood. What is actually happening inside your body when that stress alarm starts blaring and then just gets stuck in the on position? Let me introduce you to the HPA axis. You can think of this as the command and control center for stress in your body. It's this brilliant, beautifully evolved system that connects your brain to your glands, and its entire job is to keep you safe when you face a threat. So here's how that chain of command works. Your hypothalamus in your brain, that's the lookout. It spots the stress, it sends a signal down to the pituitary gland, think of it as the general, and the general then gives the order to the adrenal glands, the soldiers on the front line, to release cortisol. That's your body's go-time hormone. And this right here is the whole story. It's all about the difference between short-term stress and long-term stress. Acute stress, like slamming on the brakes to avoid an accident. That's good. The alarm rings, cortisol floods your system, helps you focus, and then, when the danger is gone, the system resets. But chronic stress, from work, from money, from those constant phone notifications, that's like the alarm getting stuck on. Your cortisol levels spike, then they crash, and the whole system just gets worn out. So, you can probably see where this is going. When that stress alarm is blaring 24/7, one of the very first things to go, one of the first casualties, is your sleep. As this 2013 research points out, sleep isn't just a passive state where you switch off. Oh no, it's an incredibly active, absolutely essential period of repair. Your body is literally a construction site overnight, rebuilding proteins, releasing hormones. When burnout messes with that process, you're missing out on the most fundamental maintenance there is. And it's just as important for your brain. Sleep is when you lock in memories from the day, when you solidify things you've learned, and when you process your emotions. So when your sleep quality tanks because of that haywire stress system, is it any wonder you wake up with that brain fog and find it so much harder to focus or even just manage your mood? Okay, so that's the problem, right? It's this vicious cycle. Stress ruins your sleep, and then the terrible sleep makes you even less able to handle stress. But, and this is a big but, the good news is that we actually know how to break that cycle. So let's look at some actual proof. One of our sources for this is a doctoral thesis that didn't just talk about the problem. It went out and tested a solution. These researchers set up a sleep education program for 84 students, all of whom were really struggling to get good rest. So what happened? Well, this number right here, this p-value, that's everything. In science, it's how you know if your results were real or just a fluke. Now, a p-value less than 0.05 is considered statistically significant. This study got a p-value of less than 0.002. That isn't just significant, that's a home run. It means there's less than a 0.2% chance that these amazing results were just random luck. It's rock-solid proof that you can learn your way to better sleep. So what exactly did they teach those students? Well, let's use that as a foundation and build your own personal recovery toolkit based on the strategies laid out right in our sources. All right, part 1 is all about what we call sleep hygiene. This is about creating really powerful signals for your brain. The most important rule here is consistency. Going to bed and waking up around the same time, yeah, even on weekends, it stabilizes your body's internal clock. And then you turn your bedroom into a sanctuary just for sleep. Dark, quiet, cool, and no screens. It tells your brain, hey, this space is for rest and nothing else. And this brings us to the other half of the puzzle. See, you can't really fix your nights if you don't address what's happening during your days. This is all about actively turning down that stress alarm. That means figuring out your biggest stressors and then using tools, whether it's meditation, a simple walk, or talking to someone, to give your nervous system a chance to just calm down and reset. So, why does all this matter so much? Because getting your energy back isn't about some huge, dramatic life makeover. It starts with small, simple, deliberate steps. It could be as simple as putting your phone down an hour before bed, or maybe a 5-minute breathing exercise in the afternoon. So, just think about it for a second. What is one small thing you could change starting tonight?